a week it has been at the stable. Really, really, really good week. We took 40 horses over to the track. 40 horses went up behind the gate. 40 horses did pretty good. A couple of breakers. None at the gate, though. Some throughout the middle of the mile made mistakes looking around or acting up and just doing baby stuff. But really, hard to believe you can take 40 horses off the farm like that and have them perform as well as they did this week. I had somebody email me this week. They're like, listen, man, like, I know you're optimistic, but you can't have that many good horses. Maybe I don't. I don't know. I mean, we have a list, 1 through 54, of horses, you know, in my mind where I'd rank them, so to speak. But I can only go on what I've seen in past years or what I see around here or the positive things that I see from the horses in the stable. And I don't know what Scott McEnany's horses look like, or Jack Darling's, or Blake McIntosh's, or Irv Miller, Andy Miller, Jimmy Tactor, or Ron Burke's. I have no idea. So I can only look at what we have. And I'm pretty happy with what I see at the stable. I mean, we get some horses that are really fast, really durable, really understand what they're here to do. It's only natural. I mean, we got a lot of horses at the barn. So do other people. So we can only do the best we can to put the work into them and then hope that shines through on the track. And I think it will, and hopefully you think it will this summer. So in regards to the people that are, you know, are listening to these videos saying, it can't all be roses. I see the good in all the horses, and I think I've pointed out some glaring flaws in some of the horses we have also. But for the most part, we just took the vast majority of our horses to Mohawk, and they all look great. So I'm going to go through the list. I got a million sheets here. I'm going to go through. So you saw a list of how the horses did on Friday. I did one from Monday, I believe, earlier on. I'm going to go through a list of what I see. We got the race horses here. We're going to run through them quick. The horses that I believe are horses that I saw on the move this week. Horses that I saw show up to the track, do their work, and look tremendous. That we really haven't talked about that much. A couple of them we've talked about in the past, but you'd be surprised with a couple of the ones that haven't. We're also going to talk about the top, I've just made a top 10. So top 5 horses on the move, top 10 horses this week at the track. This has no bearing with, you're not going to see Maintenance Man on this list. He finished 4th. He did everything we needed him to do. But these are the horses we're going to back off with now. Maintenance Man, King of the Ball will probably be one that we're going to train him a good mile and then back off a bit with him. White Tiger, Arvika, she's going to go out. We talked about all this stuff. But I'm going to talk about the horses that are going to qualify, that are going to do good. And we're going to run through them. We're going to run through, as I said, the race horses, top 10, top 5, what I saw this week, what's coming up the stable, and what's qualifying. We have 3 horses qualifying on Monday, and that's something I'm pumped about. It's really early. Here's the dilemma we have, is that we have 3 horses holding steady. Not an Angel and Ivanka, 3 Illinois bred horses that are going to the stake races, which start, I just looked, the first stake race in Illinois is a full month before the first stake in Ontario. So they're starting a full month before our program. We'd like to take the next 2 weeks to polish. And again, we don't have to have them ready for June 13th, but they're going to race for 30 or 40,000. Program's not long in Illinois. So we don't have to worry about stretching them right out into September, October, November. Their program ends pretty early. I think the 1st of September actually is when their program ends. I'm in New Zealand actually. I remember now. So around September 12th. So not a super long program. So they started a little bit early for various reasons. We're going to qualify those horses Monday morning. I would like to qualify them Friday, but the truck to go to Illinois is coming here on Sunday, June 3rd. I don't want to qualify them June 1st on Friday, and then in turn, I don't want to throw them on the truck 2 days later. I just don't think that's going to work out well for these babies, and I'm kind of not between a rock and a hard place. We schooled them all in 2-2 and 2-3 and 2-4 last Monday. They're ready to go. I'd say Ivanka's ready to go a mile in 2-2 or 2-3. Not an Angel, 2-1, pretty easy. Holding steady, 59. 2 minutes. That should be enough for Monday. Well in hand. Packed them up. Head them out to Angie Coleman. Angie, they're coming on Sunday, so we're going to qualify them all on Monday. Not the best timing. Felt a little embarrassed entering horses into qualify in May, the end of May, but it was the end of May or June 1st. First baby races in Mohawk, I think, are June 5th, 6th. We've been enough with most of these horses where it's not a big deal. So, Monday morning, first 3 go behind the gate in 2018. So, back in a minute. I'm going to tell you about the race horses first. Then we're going to talk about my personal horses that I thought were on the move this week. There's 5 of them. And we're also going to talk about the top 10 for this week. Again, a lot of movement on these lists. We're going to run through the whole list after that, explain what's going on. But fair's fair. The horses that did the best work this week found their way onto this list. You're going to see a lot of horses drop off this list. Not a big deal. They dropped off the list mostly because we didn't ask them to do a lot this week. I'm not going to ask them to do a lot for a few weeks. But nevertheless, the ones that are on here are the ones that deserve it. To be back in a minute. Racehorses, top 5, top 10. We're going to run through the yearlings for you right after that. I got the last stretch here is all the babies put together, what I thought of them, what they're doing, what our plan is, and this plan will be outlined a little bit better in the email that you would have got, explaining the horses that we're kind of throttling back a little bit, the ones that are turned out, the 3 that are turned out, and where everybody else is in their training, what our plans are with them. Obviously, the 40 we took over this week, the vast majority, if not all of them, were perfect going to the gate. Had no issues that way. A lot of them won't have any more need to go back over. They've all trained fast enough now. Having an easier 10 days now will probably do them a lot of good. So, Arvika's number 1. She's one of the horses, obviously, we are throttling back. We're going to take our time with her first stake race. I've decided that we're not going to New Jersey the end of June. It makes no sense to have her, which is frustrating because, you know, I love to race her at the Meadowlands, but the problem is that to race her at the Meadowlands, there's nothing else for 6 weeks after that, and I can't have a horse ready to go and then just say, okay, we're going to race you in these 3 races, then we're going to stop you, and we're going to start you up later. It's just not going to work that way. So, we're going to aim for the middle of August for her. I'm probably going to school her behind the gate, probably in 2-2 or 2-3 this week, and then she's going to go out in the field for 3 weeks to relax, fill out, eat some grass, and then come back and begin training again. Autumn Wings, another one. Also, it's going to get a little bit of time, I think, after we get her ready to go. Not quite 3 weeks in the field, but I'd love to see her train her school next week, maybe in 2 minutes or 59, and then do it the right way, and then actually make a decision what we're going to do moving forward with her. She's got a full slate of a plethora of stakes that we can map out for her moving forward. Very, very large staking calendar for her, so we can take a look at where we want to spend our time with her and where she's going to go, who's going to get her. These are all things that will be brought to light, I would say, and solidified over the next few weeks. First things first, get this filly perfect. I'd say she's about 90% right now. A little scrambly the other day still, but pretty good. Bay Jewel, what more can you say? She was fantastic the other day, won a great mile. She won't have to do much more heavy lifting for the next little while. She does need to be ready the end of June for her first stake race in Indiana. She'll be qualifying the first baby race day. She's probably ready to go mile 2-1 or 2-2 right now, pretty easy. Very happy with what I've seen with her. Great thing I love about her is her attitude also. She's a digger. She's a worker. And we're gonna have a lot of fun with her, I think, in Indiana this summer. Be My Delight. She was behind the gate the other day. Looked good. Still a little skeptical on her knees. Her knees bother her from time to time. And I think also that week, a few weeks ago, we had that ice storm, you know, that just screwed the whole weekend, and the horses stood in the stall for 4 days. There's still some horses there with some residual issues from that. Be My Delight's one of them. When she starts out slow in the morning, that right hind up high is really tight on her. I bought a device, some sort of massaging tool for horses. It's some sort of deep, I don't know what the hell it is. I don't know. I hope it helps. There's maybe 4 or 5 horses. Lawmaker's back, hurts him obviously, that left hind up high. Be My Delight. Warby Ultra's another one with a real stiff posterior, if you will. So, Be My Delight was good training this week. I trained her this morning. She's good. Still a little stiff and tight in her knees, and that right hind, I would assume up high, is bothering her a little bit. We will get to the bottom of that. Better Call Mike. He's still out for another, I don't know, 45, 60 days. Boldness, same thing. Buckingham, we touched on her, how well she trained this week. She is probably going to go behind the gate Friday, maybe next Friday. Casanova's Jewel, again, we just had his splints crowd. Now, I had mentioned he was going to go Friday. We scratched him Friday. Then I said we'll go Monday. Might actually be next Friday I go with that colt. You know, we worked him real hard in the later part of spring. So, we're going to aim for next Friday, I think, with Casanova's Jewel. Cash In On Me's been back in 25, starting to look good again. I think he was going through a growth spurt when he had those 2 weeks where he really looked like hell. And looking better now. So I would say continued progress. We're looking at first part of July, I would think. That's my hope anyway, but he'll be sure to let me know soon enough. Captain Miraculous, curb's starting to really tighten up good. Harry put a blister on it the other day. This is a horse that was ready to go with these other horses, and he was one of those maybe group of 5 that pop curbs on their hock, their back ligament there at the back of their hock. It's easy to address, but the key to addressing is time. You need to cool it out, blister it, or cryo it, or both. What we've tried to do this winter is cool that ligament out, then put a blister on it, tighten it up, cool it out again, and then put the cryo gun from the vet on it. We found that took a real good hold of them this year, and it really helped them. The problem with that is you don't want any flare-ups. You don't want them to come back and bother them again later on. You want it to be one and done. And Captain Miraculous, we done the right thing with him, I believe. Curb's starting to come down, still got a little bit of a blister on it. When it cools out, we'll have him behind the gate. I would say earliest a week from Monday, likely 10 days to 2 weeks, we'll have him behind the gate. Then Cruising with Angus, touched on him. He was on one of the movers lists this week. Got the hobbles off the big guy, never put a step in, wasn't on the right line as bad at Mohawk. Really just A+ all across the board for Captain Miraculous. Missed a breaking horse, had to veer around a breaking horse in the final quarter of his schooling mile. Just really a whole basket full of goodness with him this week. He did everything good, and I was really happy with him. Curious Winner made a break coming out of the last turn. Still biting that right line. 3 horses are going to the vet this week. Curious Winner, Final Answer, and who's the other one? I want to say Be My Delight, but I don't think it is. Anyway, there's 3 horses going to the vet for sure this week, and Curious Winner is one of them. Don't think there's anything major there, but would like to nip this in the bud and get it done with so we can move forward. Dance Hall Babe, she's one of the horses we're throttling back. I might bring her over to see how she likes the gate. I assume she'll just go right up to it. She's very smart for an Angus Hall, and for a young filly, I assume she'll just trot right up to it and be fine. If she does, that'll be her one and done schooling before her qualifying session, which won't be until the 2nd, maybe the 3rd week of qualifiers. No rush with this filly. She's eligible to a ton of stuff, and I think very highly whether she's one of those gang of horses that we're not getting ready till later on. We're going to take our time with them. Dancing on My Own, looking better every single week. I think we made the right decision taking her over, starting her early at Mohawk, training her in the middle of the week and the end of the week, and getting her over there, really letting her stretch into her hobbles on the long track. She did not like the half-mile training at Campbellville. She does it well when you ask her to, but not comfortable, not really comfortable. Good news is, I said this a million times, no half-mile tracks in Pennsylvania. So, Dancing on My Own, I expect, again, Monday or Friday she'll be over there. Going with her again. Delcrest Star Angel, she's way ahead of schedule, so we're really just going to try and keep an eye on her. She popped a splint left front, I believe. That's going to need to be cooled out and cryoed. Probably won't be behind the gate. She wasn't supposed to be behind the gate till the end of August, so anytime between now and then will be fine, but I suspect she's a little bit ahead of schedule. Final Answer made a break coming out of the last turn. I did interfere with him a bit, but Louis said he just rolled off. If you remember the last video, open house day, he ran on Danny O'Brien getting into the last turn for no apparent reason, and Louis said, yeah, I had to check him when you run, but he shouldn't have run. We're going to get him looked at. He's got a bump on the outside of his right front leg, looks like a splint in a bad spot. Harry was blistering him and found that. Sometimes these things don't pop right out until you put some heat to them and blister them, and you'll see a splint pop out, or a curb, things of that nature. Final Answer was always biting that right line, and nobody could figure out why, and it wasn't that bad. You know, we had a head pull on him. We were dealing with it. And then Harry put a blister on his knees and checks and splints up front. Sure enough, right front on the outside blew up. So we're going to have that looked at next week. Friggin' Biggin, talked about him, one of the top movers of the week. Really impressed with the intelligence of this horse on the track. Again, that sounds a little silly because it wasn't that long ago I called him stupid, but understanding his workload on the track is important. And if he's dumb, he uses every ounce of his ability to understand that workload, because he was fantastic on Friday. Sylvain loved him. I loved him, thought he was great. Herd 8 was sick. She picked away at her breakfast again this morning. I talked about it in a video that I released on the weekend, that she had a little bit of an elevated temperature, didn't eat her lunch, had some mucus. So clearly a little bit sick. She's going to need another week. Holding steady. Got the rail. He's got the rail into qualify Monday morning. Seems kind of early, really early even for me, but get that stake race on the 13th. I don't really have any reason not to take them. They seem ready. They seem good. So all three of the Illinois horses are in to go on Monday morning into qualify. Holding Steady is one of them. Looks good, trained good this morning. By all accounts, I assume he'll be good on Monday. Ivanka is another one. She's one of the three. She's going to be qualifying Monday. Trained good today. Harry said she's biting the right line a bit. I think it's that right stifle. She just shot up so big. Those stifles got to be wide open still. So, not a big deal, though. You know, put a head pull on her, she'll be fine for now, and not ask for too much. So Ivanka, she's in to qualify on Monday. Guess that's counterintuitive. Don't ask her for too much and then qualify her on Monday. But a nice little qualifier in 2-3, I think, on Monday will suit me and suit her just fine. King of the Ball, as I said, I don't know how it happened. Obviously, regardless of how it happened, it's my fault. But his hobbles were really long when he went to school the other day and he made a break. Louis had specifically said those hobbles, there's no way that those are his hobbles. And they weren't. They're 56.5 inches. They weren't supposed to be on him. I don't know how they get on him. Nevertheless, it's on me. Bought him a brand new set of hobbles, taped them, put his name on them. 53 inches. New hobbles will usually stretch a little bit. It's probably be 54 by the time they stretch out. He's a small horse. And I think we owe it to him, bring him back on Monday and let him do some work on Monday. He's been super comfortable and really, really good all week. Really, really happy with what I've seen at King of the Ball. Probably going to have him over Monday morning. Christine K, she popped a curb. Had that little curb crowd Friday. She'll probably be going behind the gate a week from Monday. Or no, maybe 2 weeks. Keep in mind, this is a filly that was a month behind everybody else. Now she's missed a week of hard labor, if you will, because of a curb. Might not have her ready to go for a few weeks yet. Linnea, can't say enough about Linnea. #1 horse in the barn right now. #1. Earned it, looked awesome. Tremendous filly. Very, very happy with what I've seen. Could not ask for anything more from this filly. Linnea is going to be qualified. Oh, no, not going to qualify for a while. She schooled perfect beyond the gate, perfect in the mile. That's it for her working hard between now and baby race. So 2 weeks, I think. So next week, just take it easy. Light training on Wednesday. A couple little trips on Saturday, maybe a mile and 2:12 at the farm, 2:15 maybe. And then, again, same thing in the middle of the week, and then she'll be qualifying the Friday or Saturday after that. So that's Linnea. Maintenance Man, again, exactly what we thought. Shied away from the gate a little bit, looking at everything on the track. He might go back over on Monday, but no speed. Don't need any speed for him. He's definitely on that list of horses we're going to throttle back and have ready for the end of July, end of June at the earliest, first part of July. No rush with this guy, but do need to get his shit together, so to speak. He needs to understand what he's supposed to do. We're going to pull his head up, have that shadow blind up a little bit more, and make sure he goes up near the gate, make sure he follows the pack. But I don't want to show him any speed, so maybe bring a few over to go slow, a slow schooler. What else do we got here? Majesty Boy. Majesty Boy was great all week, seemed good, went to the gate, did everything right. No rush with this guy either. He's a good 2 weeks from qualifying. You know, I feel a little awkward. I mean, we really thought that a lot of these horses would need 2 times behind the gate. Not the case. They're all kind of perfect. So Majesty Boy, he's good to go. He's ready to go now whenever we are. Maxwell Plum, same, green light. He's gone a mile and 2-3, come out 58 apiece, 59. He's ready to rock whenever we ask him also. Mo Better went a mile and 2-1, come a quarter and 28 the other day. Going to show this guy a little bit of speed. He's perfect size. You're not going to hurt him right now. He's probably going to go back over next Friday, probably qualify the Saturday after that. So Mo Better looked great the other day, and I assume he'll look good from here on in. Doesn't wear a boot or a pole. Oh wait, that's not true. Where's a head pole on the left? But looks fantastic. Mr. Caper left for the pool last night. He's going to swim for 3 weeks, and then we're going to reassess that foot. Not an Angel, qualifying on Monday, the big girl. Really excited about this. Mario Bergeron's going to go with her. He had asked about her, and then when I said that we were going to qualify them, he said, "You want me to go with her?" Sure. He went with her the last 2 times, and actually her and Ivanka got in together on Monday morning. So Mario Bergeron's going to go with Not an Angel. Oh So Pine, we talked about in an earlier video. The vet just had to open up the incision where he was gelded quite a while back. All that area was perfect today and perfect yesterday, so he's on antibiotics. This colt's super fast, like really fast, so I'm not in any hurry with him. He can go over in a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, I don't care. He's got a lot of stakes throughout the summer, inside and outside of Ohio. So Oh So Pine, no problems there, full speed ahead. Quartz Blue Chip trained okay again today. She's on the okay list. She's not going to be schooling anytime soon until we get her right. She's been in 2.9. No, I guess she went a mile in 2.7 on open house day, but she's got a lot of work to do yet, that filly. A lot of work. And again, she's another one of them ones she's going to tell me when she's ready to go, and no one else. So, trained good again today. I can't imagine she's going to be qualifying before the 1st of July. So, plan with her is just day to day. Play it by ear and see how she looks. Ready for the beach. Schooled great the other day. He's another horse, much like Mo Better. He can probably slide over there Friday and go a good mile again with him. He's medium-sized, so you're not going to hurt him, and we're not going to stretch him out. So a little bit of work won't hurt Big Beach. Rock on the Roll. He is going to get some work, this fella. A lot more work. He got on my nerves the other day. He's not putting out the way he should. So Rock on the Roll. Great gait. Beautiful way of going. He can go fast. He's going to be doing some work the next 2 weeks, so you will see him. Probably Monday, he's going to be over at Mohawk. RV LeBron, like this poor bastard, he's got a quarter crack left front, 2 big splints, hit his knee, and then he rips his shoe off schooling the other day. Crowd the splints, took him over anyway, and he rips his shoe off and makes a break. Now, thank God, Mike Saftig was smart enough, and I know he is obviously an intelligent professional driver, saw the shoe come off, recognized that it was a bar shoe, that something was probably going on, and he pulled him up. He wouldn't have hurt him probably, but it wouldn't have been a very effective training mile by any means. So I'm glad he did that. Thank you very much, Mike. Took care of the horse, even though he's got on my nerves for quite a while, this horse. He's one tough bugger. I'll tell you what, he's slowly creeping onto my watch list because he's tough. He's tough, this horse. So we'll get that bar shoe put back on and slide him over again next Friday. Screaming Hawk, school great, went up to the gate great, did everything right. No issues there. Would like to see him a little tighter, a little stronger, so he'll probably do a little more work over the next couple of weeks. See you in Tuscany. Wow. Bob McClure loved this horse. Thought he was fantastic the other day. He said, don't kid yourself. I know you got the last quarter of the video there. He said this colt could have done way more than I asked him to. We had said going out in the track, we thought we saw some discharge in his nose. Play it by ear, just don't stretch him out, and Bob didn't. Thank you very much for that. And by all accounts, he was extremely impressed with what he saw from See You in Tuscany. So he continues to impress everybody, that colt. Stolen Dance, took her over, trained her in 210 the other day. What happened about 6 weeks ago, she hit her knee training and it blew up a little bit right before the open house. And it was a little sore. And sometimes they get that hematoma on the inside of their knee. Every time they touch it after that, it blows up. That's what happened. She touched her knee the other day and it blew up. And I said, no, that's enough. We're going to give her a couple of months off and let that knee cool down. Let her grow up. She's got a lot of filling out to do. Her ass is way up in the air. Just going to give her some time. I think quite highly of this filly. She's got a great attitude. She's smart. We're going to give her the proper time to become the horse we know she will be. Stonebird's Loyal. Trained great. Knees were a little sore after we actually, the veterinarian did her knees this morning at the farm with polyglycan. Doesn't seem to be any issue. I watched the fluid in her knee was good. So it might not actually be her knee. We might be looking a little too close at the obvious. Might be her feet bothering her a little bit. She does wear bar shoes. They could be a little pinchy. Maybe an ankle. Could be a splint coming out somewhere. She jogged great this morning, but coming off the track, out of the bath rack at Mohawk after training, she was a little pinchy left front. left front. No. Yeah, left front. And Louis said she was on the right line. That's why it kind of threw me for a curveball. She should be on the right line. She should be off right front. But she was off left front and on the right line. So that's odd. We'll get to the bottom. Oh, that's the other horse going to the vet, I think, was Stonebridge Loyal. So those are the three going to the vet. Stonebridge Simba, James went with him. James always ultra-conservative with the colts, which is great. Good for him. Really impressed with what I saw from that colt. Tried the last half, 58, last quarter in 28. Mile and 2.4, pretty, 2.3 and 4. Pretty hard to ask for anything more than that. Looked fantastic, straight as a string, didn't put a step in. Exactly what we like to hear this time of year. Sunshine's Finest, Saftig went with him. Said he got home real good, biting the right line a bit. If you'll remember, that's the colt we crowd his curbs about 5 weeks ago. So probably some residual issue there. Not a big deal. Super fast colt. Said he still won a mile 2-1, coming out 57, come 27 apiece on the end of it. Swandre the Giant, splints are killing him up front. They have been for a few weeks. We got to get them cryoed. I opted not to cryo them on Thursday because he was schooling Friday. Danny said he did put a couple of steps in training, but very strong. Still come a quarter in 28 seconds. Look great. They'll be cryo Monday, I guess. The Butler did it. Went over on Monday. Schooled good. Probably going to take that guy actually to Flamborough. His first start, a lot of the New York Stakes are on a half. His first start will be in Buffalo or Batavia, one or the other. So I think I might run this guy over to Flamborough next Thursday morning and school him there. Too Far Gone, couldn't say enough about the way she looked. One, she urinated all over James. Top marks. No, but in all fairness, she looked good. As the total body of work, if you will, the way she looked was tremendous. So she looked great. Really impressed with what I saw from that filly. Tomorrow's headline, Curb's coming great on that guy. Harry trained him a slow mile today. Said he's not even on that line. Looks great. Maybe next Friday. Maybe next Friday for this guy. Not positive yet. If not, it'll be a week from Monday. But looking really good. Twinsburg. Top marks for this filly. I can't say enough. Still, the transformation of this filly has been tremendous. I really can't. I'm floored when I look at what she was all year and what she is now. She's just one of those horses where she saw the gate, she saw that speed, and turned into the horse we really hoped and prayed she would be. But I didn't see this coming. She just a tremendous filly. Really nice filly. War We Ultra, no, I'm jumping ahead of myself. Time Al Houdini, couldn't ask him to do more. Really strong colt, really good colt. Probably not going to go back with him until a week from Monday for a schooler, tighten him up. Time Al Tulo, Sylvain said he was great. I had mentioned earlier in another video, him and Houdini were a little goofy at the gate, but that's actually false. It was just Houdini. They were kind of crashing and banging over to the left of me when we were behind the gate, and I thought they were both acting up, but Sylvain said no, he was perfect. Just Houdini was a little goofy at the gate. But they both went up and touched the gate. Time Al Tulo went a mile and 2.3, come 28 apiece. Can't ask for much more than that. Looked fantastic. Saw him on the track today. John was out to jog his horse, and he looked great on the track. So Time Al Tulo looked good. War We Ultra, almost #1 horse of the week. Lene and her were similar, very similar situations. Maybe even a little more for War We Ultra, because I did not see her doing what she did. Went to the front and manhandled a group of colts that were good all year. War We Ultra was superb. Definitely the #1 trotter of the week by far was War We Ultra. And I know West 52nd went a good mile. A bunch of other supporting horses looked good. Nobody looked as good as War We Ultra on the trot. West 52nd, that's him right there. He also looked great. I would say a close second. Him and Time Al Houdini on the trot to War We Ultra. Have to give her top marks because that was an impressive thing she did the other day. West 52nd, I didn't go with him, so maybe that's a little unfair. Bobby said he loved this horse, thought he did everything great. Couldn't ask him to do more. Not on a line, straight, strong, never put a step in. Exactly what we wanted to hear heading into June 2018. White Tiger, I did go with. He made a little break down the backstretch. He's a bugger, that horse, sometimes, I said, when he trained great all them times, he's like, geez, I wish I hadn't gelded him now. No, I'm quite happy with gelding him. Halfway down the backstretch, he keeps floating his head, and through his head and he made a break down the backstretch. That's a horse that's just not paying attention to his work. So although we were going to drop him back down, obviously, to the group, because he's so heavily staked, that group we want to give time to, he's going to have to show me he earns to be dropped down into that group, or he's going to have a long year. Because that colt, I can't take him to the races doing stupid shit like that. So he's going to have to go back over Monday, go behind the gate, and show me that he can do his work properly. And at that point, and that point only, will he then go to the field for a couple of weeks. So White Tiger's future is completely in his own hooves, so to speak. And yes, talked about yes. Wow, looked great the other day. I love when these horses these question mark horses, if you will, from all year. I love it when you see them pan out, turn out. Maxwell Plum, yes, and the list goes on and on and on and on and on. Very happy with yes. Very, very happy with yes. He looked great, seemed great. All systems go from here on in. Had no problems at the gate. Probably 2 weeks you'll see him qualify at Mohawk. Anyway, that is the babies. That is all of them. How long did that take me? Wow, 25 minutes to run down all them babies. I mean, not a lot changed. I think you guys knew, for the most part, what was going on with these horses, how they looked, what our plan was with them. I'll set it out a little easier for you. There's a massive list of jurisdictional horses we're going to have ready to race in the Ohio Sires, Ontario Sires, New York, Pennsylvania, blah, blah, blah. Those horses are there. Then there's that other small, much smaller group of horses that we consider to be Grand Circuit horses. Horses that I think are destined to be racing in some of the bigger races. So we're going to start taking a serious look at their calendars, specifically what races we want to have them in, whether it be the Peter Houghton for some of the trotters, or keep them as fresh as we can, because we look down the road and, you know, you got the BC, you got the Breeders' Crown at the end of the year. Do we have any for it? I don't know. I think we have horses that look like they could get there, maybe. But again, I don't know what everybody else's horses are doing. So I know we got some really talented horses. So we're going to show you that big bulk, that big jurisdictional staking list of horses that are going to be ready to go in their stake races, that much smaller list of horses that we're going to be tinkering with their calendar because we believe that they're destined for bigger and brighter things. Then we have that minuscule list. It's only 3 right now. 3 horses that had to be turned out just to mature and grow up. And I think that was the right move to make. And all our clients that had the horses agreed. So that will do it for this week. That'll do it for the babies. You heard about the race horses. Had a lot of stuff to touch on. Don't forget, download the app. Curtis has done some great stuff with that app. I've been getting emails from people and phone calls and text messages from everywhere, all over North America, actually the world. There's somebody from New Zealand and Thailand. Everybody to tell me that you know, the app's really cool and it's really user-friendly, easy to use. And if you want, I don't know, but, well, it wouldn't matter. You already seen it anyway. Curtis was going to put the live feed from Western Fair on our app tonight, which I don't know if he can do that. I have no idea how he does that, but he said he was going to. So more of a test run, because as you can see, there is a live races button on the app where we will love to be able to show our races live. We're working on that now. We're working on the replays now. Just take a second to stop and step back and look at the potential of what this app can do. Not just for our clients, but to show people exactly what we can do in the industry to make it easier for people from the general public to interact with us again, yet again. We have to continue to move forward and march forward into the general public. Apps like this are a great tool to do that. TheStable.ca is a great tool to do that, and I hope that lots of other people follow suit over the next year. Anyway, hope you're having a great week. For those of you in the States, I believe it's Memorial Day weekend, maybe? I'm not sure. I think it is. We had our May 2-4 weekend last weekend, so a long weekend for you guys in the States. For us, it's just another weekend, but it is beautiful. 30 degrees as I sit here and talk to you in my driveway. I'm going to go inside, going to lay down for a bit. Got a bit of a headache. See if we can't get patched up, ready to go for tonight at Western Fair Raceway. Take care. Talk soon. Hope you're having a great weekend.